Hey guys, Ryan here again. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the steering wheel in your Alfa Romeo Giulia. Now, if you get the Quadrifoglio, which I did not, it's actually a very similar steering wheel. You just get this button's kind of red. But really, a lot of the trim and everything's the same, except you do get a carbon fiber piece along here. Okay, mine is kind of this fabric, which is kind of challenging to see, but it is a different material than the outside. That same kind of fabric material is also right here where your thumbs will sit. So you can see you got the leather wrapped steering wheel and then kind of this nice fabric here. Whereas the Quadrifoglio, you get a carbon fiber. Now this carbon fiber piece here, and here, I got that additionally done. But all the steering wheels come with this kind of cool black version of what the icon usually has with the colors. And then, of course, you get your paddle shifters. So the paddle shifters are actually on the steering column, as you can see. Very cool. So no matter where you're turning your steering wheel, they're always going to be placed. That's why they're so long. And boy, are they satisfying. They've got great, quality behind them. They're not like flimsy plastic. They're, aluminum, but they're very cool. I have owned a BMW in the past where both do the same thing. They gear up or gear down, depending if you push them forward or pull them away from you, whereas this is gear up and gear down. Now, if you get a model like a base that doesn't have a lot of the stuff that this car has, this is not here, but I have the Driver Assistant Dynamic Plus package, which allows me to, on the highway, kind of latch onto the guy in front of me, hold on to them, and then I can separate myself further or get myself closer to them by pressing this button. And that's when you kind of have your, basically, it's cruise control, but, 2019. So, or 2018, or whenever they started coming out with these things. I'd say about 5 years ago they came out with the technology. My Mazda actually has it too. So, very, very comfortable. You start up the car, you put your foot on the brake, and that's kind of the look you get. And it's really neat. The other thing I wanted to talk about was right here, the volume control. So I don't want to put on the volume right now because what's going to happen is it's going to find a radio station and then my YouTube video is going to be taken down because it'll find a station with music I'm not allowed to play. But you can control the volume obviously up and down with this. But something that's quite neat about it is if I want to mute a channel or any music or whatever, I just push it in and it mutes it. Okay, so very cool. Right now it's on the phone's function. Of course, these are pretty self-explanatory. I like how there's one button to answer and hang up phone calls. I mean, you don't need two separate buttons for that. I don't know why cars do that. And then, of course, this I can play around with as well to go up and down through certain functions. If this is to kind of not only play around with different functions, but also if I'm on the highway and I want to go faster with my cruise control. Now, the other thing that this car has right here off the steering wheel, of course, is the stalks. But if I push this in, okay, you can see at the top here, that allows me to get my lane keep assist. Now, this car, unfortunately, doesn't vibrate the steering wheel. It only makes a wah, wah, wah noise, which is kind of annoying. I'm not a big fan of that. But on the other turn stalk, we do have right here, and that allows me to go through these different functions. Now, if you look here, I've set it up for 3 different ones, which you could do with the infotainment. So I have the trip, okay, and I also have this, which allows me to kind of go through my driving dynamics and kind of the history and my styles of how I'm driving. I don't really use that. So, by the way, sorry about the camera work in this. I got a loaner phone right now, so it's kind of crappy. Talking about the steering wheel, I have smaller hands, but this is a very perfectly well, designed or, I guess, sized steering wheel because I've had ones that are quite thick. I've had ones that are too thin, almost girly. This is perfect. The other thing that is, a lot of people don't think about, back here where you would have your hand, it tucks in really nicely. So my fingers will fit in here. So instead of being flat and trying to I can actually kind of grip back here. You got your thumb here, you got the little stop there, It's perfect. So it really allows you to feel, and then of course you can flip your hands in here, as I've done in other videos when I'm driving. But this is just my quick thoughts on the steering wheel. I think this thing is absolutely epic. Of course you can correct it by going up and down, and is a telescopic, right? So you can bring it towards you or away, and then up and down. That's not electronic, which is fine. That would be one less thing to break. But that's really my thoughts on the steering wheel here on the 2020 Alfa Romeo Giulia TI Sport. And if you guys want to subscribe, please do after this video. Talk to you soon.